All right, Groot got his first order of steel in. Court got some windshield time. He got to take the new tow pig. And he went and got about $2,974 worth of steel. And if you're wondering what that gets you 6 plates of 1/4 inch and 3 plates of 3/16. And the 3/16 aren't even 5x10, they're 4x10. But we're gonna turn this 1/4 inch steel into a bunch of leaf spring brackets and S10 kits and 2 huge 100 inches long, which is, I don't even know, that's like 8 or 9 foot long. They're basically just a little over 8 foot long weld tables, fixture tables, just like I have, except these are going to be freaking huge. And this is going to get turned into more S10 kits, G-body, long travel kits, all that stuff. So we already had to restock up on our metal. We got a small scrap pile going so far of what we've already used, but I cut a whole pile of wrong parts the other day, but we're not going to talk about that. So Karina's been CNCing stuff. Court was picking stuff up. Normally they'll deliver, but we got stuff that we have to get out, so we had to go pick it up. And we're going to get this stuff unloaded and start cutting because we got parts to ship out and people to give race car parts to. Court, how'd you feel driving a big rig?
I want one.
Oh boy.
I need to do it.
You better start working more hours. All right, we're going to get this thing unloaded. All right, we got our exhaust vent on our roof. We'll see how long it takes to actually leak, because I'm sure it's going to leak because it was an Amazon one and it's not nearly as nice as I thought it was, but that's what you get for using Amazon stuff. But it is vented outside. We have a whole sheet on here, so it should keep a lot better suction and keeping the smoke out. And we're ready to go. We're going to start cutting our first weld table and a couple pieces of our second weld table because I can fit them on the sheet. We're literally using every square inch of this 5x10 sheet. I'm getting ready to show you. There's this thing called frame. You can actually move this head around and hit frame. It'll outline the path, like the actual outline of all the parts it's gonna do, so you can know if it's gonna fit on the sheet, which I'm sure a lot of people already know, but if you've never done this before, you wouldn't know, and it's actually really nice. So I'm gonna show you how close we are. So I'm gonna hit frame. We're pretty stinking close to the edge, especially down this edge. So we're going to try to use every square inch. Here's our 2 long pieces. We're gonna cut both long pieces for each table. Here's our middle piece, and then here's our 2 side pieces. We've got all 8 legs, and we've even got some 4-link brackets in there, some leaf string brackets, the feet in there, all kinds of stuff. Court did a great job running the forklift, AKA man lift today, and he didn't kill me, so good job there. And we're gonna try, I'm gonna go turn the oxygen on, and then we're gonna see if this thing will start cutting or if I have something else screwed up. I need to get bigger oxygen bottles, but this is what we have to work with for now. Got our chiller running, exhaust fans hooked up. I'm really hoping this cuts down on the smoke, especially since we've got a full sheet on there now. So I'm gonna turn that on. Oh yeah, boys. She's got some pressure in there. I'm gonna turn that on so that way it can start getting a suction. I've got all this stuff highlighted, and let's see if we can cut something. If you're gonna look directly at the laser, put these goggles on, or it'll burn your retinas, because you got magnifying glasses on them right now.
Yeah.
Put this guy right there. All right, little buddy, you keep doing your thing. We're gonna sit here and watch. Court, can you give us your consensus on the new weld table?
I love it.
Is it everything you've ever hoped for?
Yes.
Look at this. He's even got a fancy new MIG gun holder. He's got anti-spatter spray that makes him sick. And he even changed his weld technique. He came in the other day and said he wanted to try something. And then yesterday we worked on a little bit. And now look at these freaking dimes he's laying. Look at those things. I zoomed in and it made it really blurry. It won't focus now. Oh yeah, look at that. No, he's not for hire. Yes, he already has a job. No, he can't take any other jobs. Look at these things. He's just stacking dimes on everything. We're getting a new batch of stuff ready to go out to Summit. We're getting the first S10 4-link set up, ready for powder coating. We've got this single table built now finally, and we're gonna start building the other table. Excuse me. And we're gonna have stuff in stock. Tarina has now got our taper set up, and she's starting to label. She's printing labels now for all of our basically production assembly line of things, so they can all be labeled. But check out our new tape. Look at that. Look at that. All of our stuff now, pre-packed, pre-labeled, fancy tape. She's got her little taper set up over here. She's got her mobile workstation set up now. Check out our labels. Show them the labels. Those are going to be our labels for our buckets. So, yeah.
You're the new version.
Ooh,
I made it a little bigger.
very nice. So now, we're just getting everything rolling. We've got our pre-packaging going. We've got our welding going. I'm trying to teach myself on the bender, so that way I can teach them on the bender. And also, I'm trying to learn everything I need to learn on. I'm trying to learn everything on these to get us caught up. And once we're caught up, then they can start learning to use the laser and the bender and all that stuff. In case I'm not here, they can still make parts. And then, not that we aren't already, but we'll be totally self-sufficient. So we can keep designing more parts, working on cars over there, powder coating. The powder coating's pretty simple. We've already got a bunch of scrap. Look at all that scrap. We've got a couple parts ready up here so we can powder coat them that are going on the green S10 over here. And yeah, I will say our exhaust fan does not work very well unless you have the table completely covered, which is kind of obvious because it just loses suction. But I really, really, really want to put a bigger, basically an overhead exhaust hood with two big exhaust fans up there to catch all of the stuff that comes out of here, because I know it's not good to breathe in. And I'd like to put a big one over here because you can tell as he's welding, there's a lot of fumes going up there. So we need more exhaust fans. If anybody's got good deals on exhaust fans, let me know, because we need them. And as for the bender, I almost broke it the other day, but I ended up fixing it. And we've been bending all kinds of parts. We've got our tie down brackets. We've got our shock assembly brackets. I've bent up a whole bunch of leaf spring brackets, and we've already packaged and shipped a bunch of G-body brackets. I've got more G-body brackets here. We've got our four bolt flanges for our S10 kit. These are our they're B90 L brackets. These are for the lower anti-roll bar mount that'll bolt between your leaf spring brackets. And then to try not to waste any space, I've been cutting all of our 3/8 anti-roll bar. Well, they're 3/8 for a 3/8 hole, but they're 3/16 anti-roll bar tabs. And I even cut a whole bunch of 1/4-inch tabs. I cut a bunch of 1/4-inch tabs so that way I didn't just have dead space in between everything. When you got a big hole like this, you've got a big piece of scrap. Well, you can fit one of these inside of here. So we're going to be really stocked up on all these little brackets, which is good because I didn't plan on cutting them yet, but since we had room on the pallet, on the plate, you got to cut them so that way you're not wasting much scrap, which you can still see there's some here, but I did all I could do. So yeah, we're gonna get this off here, load another piece of 1/4 inch. I'm gonna be cutting these plates for my buddy Ray that always lets me use all of his equipment and help me get all of my equipment in here. So now I'll be cutting him some plates for his metal building business. We're getting caught up on parts. Court's learning every day, welding better every day. We've got creative space to weld and not be so freaking crowded while welding. It's just like the best decision I've ever made was to make this big weld table, and we're gonna make a whole nother one so that way we can set up each station for our fixtures, and you don't have to unbolt and bolt fixtures down 500 times a day. You can just weld everything, pull it off, send it on to powder coating. So we're getting there, one step at a time. Karina's been doing a lot of CNC stuff. She's been getting caught up on all our ball joint spacers, getting those back in stock. Yes Welders sent us some of their carts, which I'm very appreciative of, because we need all the carts we can get because we had too many welders for our carts. We didn't have enough carts. We got a bunch of Amazon stuff for fixturing, and yeah, I'm really excited about how our table came out. It's got our slogan on there, got our logo all over it. We did, I cut 2 of the wrong legs, so a couple legs are backwards, but that's okay because I don't care. And if you care, I don't care that you care. So the old Yes Welders just putting in the hours, man. Court's been running spool after spool through this thing, just welding up pieces, parts and pieces, and we're just trying to catch up. This is Court's sanctuary. Do you want a comfier seat? Should we get you a Viper chair? I know the guy that makes the Viper chairs, where they cut them at. It's in Wisconsin. Do you know what a Viper chair is? What? You've never seen a Viper chair? They're like a super fancy roll around chair with all these things. They're too expensive for me to buy. That's why I've never bought one. But you and Karina could get your own custom Viper chairs. One says nerd, one says dork. Just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna go edit this video now, and then we can post this video. And I think the next video might be us cutting the 1/4 panel off of Uncle Sam. So, do we have enough grinder wheels for that?
Good.
Or Sawzall blades? Actually, I'm gonna bend some of this stuff and then I'm gonna edit this video, but we're rocking and rolling, boys and girls. I was leaving the shop last night and I just looked around and I'm like, I love this place. This is badass. We're just getting after it. Made right here in America by rednecks and Austrian. There's the redneck. There's the Austrian. I don't know what I am. I guess I'm just a hood rat. That's all right. I'm ready to powder coat some stuff. By the way, hopefully we make at least like $10 off this scrap, because I took a bunch of scrap in a while back and it cost about, they gave me about $27 for a couple thousand pounds. Didn't seem very, very fair, but all right, I'm gonna turn the music on and turn the exhaust fan back on. We're over and out.